Hi. So, Silksong is a big game, full of beautiful areas to explore. So, I thought, how livable are those areas actually? So, today I will be ranking all of the Silksong areas in a scale of livable, kinda livable, and unlivable. So, let's get to ranking. Alright, so right off the bat I can say Moss Grotto is livable. Because you have clean water, moss berries as food source, and first town of the game, the Bone Bottom. As well as graveyard, if you decide to stay and eventually die. So yeah, Moss Grotto is good, go next. So, Marrow. Imagine Marrow like living atop of an active volcano. Yeah, that isn't good first sign. You can make the argument that the lava isn't in the lower portions of the area, but you know, rest of the area is pretty barren, except like the left side that is closer to Moss Grotto. But even then, countless pilgrim bodies that are scattered around here aren't like reassuring of this place being livable, so I have to say this place is unlivable. Alright, so imagine Marrow, but with capitalistic labor twist put onto it. And it actually makes the area pretty livable, because if Citadel wanted like the most resources out of this place, they were obligated to make this place livable, and man, they built them a sauna, like, this is cool, like Bello seems to enjoy it, so I probably would too. But still, this place have one big minus, and this minus is lava, because, you know, this stuff is dangerous, so I need to give Deep Docks kind of livable. Hunter's March is unlivable. Okay, so hear me out. The Scar tribe stands its grounds proudly. So, in other words, you are not welcome on their ground if you are an outsider, and if you try interacting with them in some sort of way, you will probably end up like those guys. Farfields is interesting. On one side you have lava pools, and the other side you have lush greenery and windswept caverns. Also, actual bugs live here. You have the seamstress that doesn't mind the lava river below, and Mort with his pilgrim's rest. And this reassures me that this place is kind of livable, but you need to also have in mind that Scar tribe have its grounds here, and you know, it never ends up good interacting with them. Once a great farmland, and now Citadel lost silk shipping center. But hey, you have little bar in here, and if Nu survived the whole game by sitting in the halfway home, then I can do that too, by of course drinking the bug equivalent to beer. So this makes this place livable. Hell yeah. Easiest livable place on this list, because you have everything covered. Food? Pondcatcher Reed got ya covered. Wanna have your own bell home? You can! Tell me, what is better than having your own home and being able to listen to the Choral Chambers lo-fi version while lying on your bed? Shellwood is in the same case as Farsfields, as Shellwood is kinda livable. On one side you have the clear waters and food source in the form of pond skippers, and the other side you have grey root and the splinter bugs that can just assassinate you if you don't deal with them at first. But yeah, this place is still kind of livable. So, I would want to say that Sinner's Road is kind of livable, just because how my opinion is influenced by Cruel and Benjin. And man, if they can survive by eating roaches and sitting here for all this time, then I sure would survive with them too. But for how much I love these two, I need to say that there are still dangerous things that you need to have in mind, like rogue roach farmers, and maggot-filled waters. So, when Sinner's Road is kind of livable, then bilewater is straight up unlivable. Maggot-filled water everywhere, and stalking tribe in every corner of this area makes it really harsh and hostile environment to live. Weavnest atla is weird, because to enter it you need to know the weaver song, and there are only 3 living weavers that we know of: Hornet, Widow, and that one weaver that is still somewhere in Hollow Nest. And I don't count first Sinner because Hornet kind of absorbed her. But putting that aside, Weavnest atla is mostly just a mouse grotto. And also we have Eva in here, so hi Eva. A place where bugs come from every wall and every ceiling and everything. And also later this place changes to an equivalent of zombie outbreak ground zero, so unlivable, no thanks. We reach the border of the kingdom, and in the Hollow Knight universe that means big open wasteland that is unlivable and only inhabited by mindless bugs that behave like IRL bugs, so yeah. Yes, so Wisp Thicket gets own spot on this list, because man, if Weavnest atla gets its own spot, then Wisp Thicket gets its too. Yes, it's small and mostly just straight path to the Father of the Flame, but it's still charming and cool looking. But is this place livable? I mean, kinda. If you got somehow accepted to the cult, then it's livable, but probably you would be just set on fire and be told that it's a cleansing ritual to get rid of the silk that haunts your shell. Underworks perfectly shows how corrupt Citadel really is, and how much it pushed normal bugs to work in the smoke and dust heavy environment, just for them to die in the dark corners of this wretched place. This place gets its own tier. Crime. So, I decided to count the Citadel as a whole, just like it's shown on the wiki, and yes, that includes the hellhole that White Ward is. But right off the bat I can say that Citadel is kind of livable. And why only kinda and not just livable? Because the Citadel that we visit in the game is just a shell of its former glory. The empty halls of coral chambers that echo with voices of bugs that fall into the hunting and are still repeating their tasks that they did before in a loop. High halls with east bugs that are counting rosaries for what feels like an eternity. Whispering vaults with bugs that are reading and writing the same scrolls over and over again. Cogwork core that is kept alive by those bugs that in their fate, even after death, serve Citadel. Bugs of the Memorium who thought they can preserve everything, and bugs of the White Ward, lost to the power that Silk provided them. But I say that Citadel is still kind of livable to this day, because the spa still works, as well as the banquet room, and also Songclave after Hornet activated the Bell Shrine again. But still, Citadel now can be dangerous place for many. Basically, a prison complex for bugs that were accused of committing some sort of sin against the Citadel. I mean, the old penitent doesn't really think this is a prison, but still, I wouldn't like to live in here, so this place is pretty unlivable. Mount Fae is unlivable, unless you are somehow blessed by the Faith Worm, and get the Fae Down Cloak, and then it becomes livable. The Mask Maker seems to enjoy this place, but still, chances for you to get the Fae Down Cloak as a normal bug are probably really small. Just know, I mean, there is a safe area here called Pale Lake with the Flea Caravan and my boy Seth, but still, I would not like to live here knowing that 500 meters away there is a squad of bugs ready to give me a PTSD. The cradle is two-part place, kind of. You have the part with the Grand Milf and the part with the Forgotten Town, and both of those places are unlivable. I mean, you can kinda survive if you try to eat those guys, but even this doesn't help those guys who lived here before, and in the Grand Milf part there is nothing that will help you survive unless you want to eat silk. Once a great coral gorge, colorful and vibrant, and now just Blasted Steppes 2.0. So I need to sadly say that in our time this place is unlivable. Back in the day, a beautiful clover-filled caverns that were lush and green, and now just an empty cave with some guys that probably died of starvation. So sadly, this place is unlivable. You are telling me that long ago some bugs lived here, next to the bugs that literally fed themselves out of nowhere, and there are other bugs that feed themselves out of nowhere. Yeah, this place for normal bugs is unlivable. But if you are those guys, man, this place is a paradise for you. You can, like, I don't know, walk forward for all your life and wait to be devoured by those blood-sucking things. Alright, so we reached the end. Let me know your opinions and thanks for watching. You can leave a like and subscribe if you want, and maybe check my other stuff. There's link in the description.